Illinois Real Estate Broker Exam Practice Questions.
Question 1. During an AccuPlacer practice session, 8 packets contain 18 arithmetic cards each, and 13 extra cards are added. How many cards are there altogether? Option A, 157. Option B, 39. Option C, 131. Option D, 378.
The correct answer is option A, stabilizes the ankle and provides muscle attachment.
Multiply 8 by 18 to get 144, then add 13 extra cards for a total of 157. Choice B gives 39, which adds the 3 numbers instead of multiplying the packets by the cards in each packet, and choice C gives 131, which subtracts the extra cards instead of adding them. Choice D gives 378, which adds the extra cards to the packet count before multiplying. Question 2. Which number of pencils will be in each study kit if 240 pencils are divided equally among 12 kits? Option A, 252. Option B, 20. Option C, 228. Option D, 32.
The correct answer is option A. It is approximately 120 ml.
Divide the total number of pencils by the number of kits. 240 divided by 12 equals 20. Choice A gives 252, which adds the group count to the total instead of dividing, and choice C gives 228, which subtracts the group count from the total. Choice D gives 32, which adds the number of groups to the quotient. Question 3. A student has $53 for exam supplies and spends $26.25. How much money remains? Option A, $79.25. Option B, $53. Option C, $26.75. Option D, $27.
The correct answer is option B. A limited trial reveals problems before broad implementation.
Subtract the amount spent from the starting amount. $53 minus $26.25 equals $26.75. Choice A gives $79.25, which adds the spending to the starting amount, and choice B gives $53, which keeps the original amount and does not subtract the purchase. Choice D gives $27, which drops the cents before subtracting, which changes the remaining money.
Stressed about your non-medical assistant exam? We can take non-medical assistant exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 4. If an arithmetic question asks for the value of 4 plus 7 times 7 minus 3, which value should be chosen? Option A, 74. Option B, 32. Option C, 56. Option D, 50.
The correct answer is option A. Prompt return allows data analysis and keeps the equipment available.
Apply order of operations by multiplying first. 7 times 7 equals 49, then compute 4 plus 49 minus 3 equals 50. Choice A gives 74, which adds before multiplying and breaks the order of operations, and choice B gives 32, which subtracts inside the multiplication before it is allowed. Choice C gives 56, which adds the final number instead of subtracting it. Question 5. How should a student identify the greatest decimal among 8.47, 8.54, 8.38, and 8.475 for practice set 19? Option A, 8.54. Option B, 8.47. Option C, 8.38. Option D, 8.475.
The correct answer is option A, providing a limited source of recovery for certain losses caused by licensee misconduct when statutory requirements are met.
Line up the decimal points and compare place values. 8.54 has the greatest value. Choice B gives 8.47, which is smaller once the decimal places are lined up and compared from left to right, and choice C gives 8.38, which is smaller once the decimal places are lined up and compared from left to right. Choice D gives 8.475, which is smaller once the decimal places are lined up and compared from left to right. Question 6. After measuring a practice minus table length of 3.583, which value is 3.583 rounded to the nearest tenth? Option A, 4. Option B, 3.6. Option C, 3.58. Option D, 3.5.
The correct answer is option D. Allow it to remain with the patient unless a specific safety exception applies.
The hundredths digit is 8, so the tenths digit rounds up and 3.583 becomes 3.6. Choice A gives 4, which rounds to the nearest whole number instead of the nearest tenth, and choice C gives 3.58, which rounds to the nearest hundredth, which is too many decimal places. Choice D gives 3.5, which truncates the number and ignores the hundredths digit. Question 7. Which fraction is equivalent to 7/15 for practice set 19? Option A, 13/21. Option B, 42/21. Option C, 42/90. Option D, 13/90.
The correct answer is option C. Whether the team name and it clearly avoid misleading consumers about the sponsoring brokerage.
Equivalent fractions are formed by multiplying the numerator and denominator by the same non-zero number, so 7/15 times 6/6 equals 42/90. Choice A gives 13/21, which adds the same number to the numerator and denominator, which does not preserve equivalence, and choice B gives 42/21, which multiplies only the numerator while changing the denominator by addition. Choice D gives 13/90, which changes both parts in different ways instead of multiplying both by the same factor. Question 8. How can the fraction 12/18 be written in simplest form for practice set 19? Option A, 2/18. Option B, 12/3. Option C, 8/9. Option D, 2/3.
The correct answer is option D. The team must be able to summon local help if the patient deteriorates.
Divide both 12 and 18 by their common factor 6 to get 2/3. Choice A gives 2/18, which divides only the numerator by the common factor, and choice B gives 12/3, which divides only the denominator by the common factor. Choice C gives 8/9, which uses addition rather than reducing by a common factor.
Are you looking for non-medical assistant exam actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access non-medical assistant exam study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get non-medical assistant exam answer key today.
Question 9. The sum of 2/5 and 1/10 is which value for practice set 19? Option A, 1/2. Option B, 1/5. Option C, 3/10. Option D, 1/25.
The correct answer is option B. Alternate tasks and take brief movement breaks when possible.
Use a common denominator and add the fractional parts. 2/5 plus 1/10 equals 1/2. Choice B gives 1/5, which adds denominators as well as numerators, and choice C gives 3/10, which subtracts the fractions instead of adding them. Choice D gives 1/25, which multiplies the fractions instead of finding their sum. Question 10. A recipe uses 9/10 cup of flour and then removes 7/10 cup. Which fraction of a cup remains? Option A, 1/10. Option B, 1/5. Option C, 8/5. Option D, 4/5.
The correct answer is option C. Refer the question to the provider and provide approved information.
Because the denominators are the same, subtract only the numerators. 9 minus 7 equals 2, giving 1/5. Choice A gives 1/10, which subtracts the numerators but also changes the denominator, and choice C gives 8/5, which adds the numerators instead of subtracting them. Choice D gives 4/5, which adds both numerators and denominators. Question 11. One practice shortcut asks for 5/6 times 3/8. Which product is correct for practice set 19? Option A, 29/24. Option B, 15/14. Option C, 5/16. Option D, 1/6.
The correct answer is option C. Truth in Lending Act and Regulation Z.
Multiply straight across. 5 times 3 equals 15 and 6 times 8 equals 48, which simplifies to 5/16. Choice A gives 29/24, which adds the fractions instead of multiplying numerators and denominators, and choice B gives 15/14, which multiplies the numerators but adds the denominators. Choice D gives 1/6, which adds the numerators while multiplying the denominators. Question 12. When dividing 5/8 by January 4th, which quotient should a test taker select for practice set 19? Option A, 5/32. Option B, 2/5. Option C, 7/8. Option D, 5/2.
The correct answer is option C. Stop the draw, remove the needle, and apply firm prolonged pressure.
Keep 5/8, change division to multiplication, and use the reciprocal 4/1. The quotient simplifies to 5/2. Choice A gives 5/32, which multiplies by the divisor instead of multiplying by its reciprocal, and choice B gives 2/5, which flips the first fraction rather than the second fraction. Choice C gives 7/8, which adds the two fractions instead of dividing. Question 13. If a student studies 5 and 1/8 hours on Monday and 4 and 1/8 hours on Tuesday, how many hours does the student study in all for practice set 19? Option A 9 and 1/4, option B 9, option C 9 and 1/8, option D 9 and 1/64.
The correct answer is option D. Use the ordered route, patient age and size, medication volume, and authorized landmark.
Add the whole numbers and the fractional parts separately, then simplify. 5 and 1/8 plus 4 and 1/8 equals 9 and 1/4. Choice B gives 9, which ignores the fractional parts completely, and choice C gives 9 and 1/8, which adds the denominators when combining the fractional parts. Choice D gives 9 and 1/64, which multiplies the fractional parts instead of adding them. Question 14. At a bookstore, one workbook costs $29.75 and a set of note cards costs $4.99. How much do they cost together? Option A $24.76, option B $34.74, option C $35.74, option D $33.
The correct answer is option D. Record the instructions communicated and the patient's stated understanding.
Changing material terms such as price or closing date creates a counteroffer rather than an acceptance. It does not transfer title, and it does not create a lease option unless the parties separately agree to those terms. Question 15. A small rental property has annual net operating income of $20,000 and an indicated capitalization rate of 5%. What value is suggested by the income approach? Option A, $100,000. Option B, $4,000. Option C, $400,000. Option D, $200,000. The correct answer is option C, $400,000. The income approach using direct capitalization divides NOI by the capitalization rate. $20,000 divided by 5% equals about $400,000. The other answers multiply by the rate, treat the percent as a whole number, or cut the indicated value in half. Question 16. Avery has completed high school and wants a first Illinois broker license after finishing coursework in Champaign. Which education path most directly satisfies the standard broker pre-minus license requirement? Option A. Only a 15-hour leasing agent course. Option B. 45 hours of managing broker education without broker coursework. Option C. A continuing education course completed after licensure. Option D. 60 hours of broker pre-minus license topics plus 15 hours of interactive applied real estate principles. The correct answer is option D. 60 hours of broker pre-minus license topics plus 15 hours of interactive applied real estate principles. Illinois broker candidates in the standard path complete 75 class hours made up of 60 hours of broker topics and 15 hours of interactive applied principles. A leasing course is for residential leasing agents, managing broker education is a different license path, and continuing education applies after licensure rather than before the broker exam. Question 17. Several liens are discovered before closing, including a recorded mortgage, unpaid property taxes, and a later judgment lien. Why is lien priority important? Option A. Priority determines the order in which claims may be paid from the property's value. Option B. Priority decides who may advertise the property. Option C. Priority cancels the need for title insurance. Option D. Priority makes every lien disappear at listing. The correct answer is option A. Priority determines the order in which claims may be paid from the property's value. Lien priority affects the order of payment when property is sold or foreclosed. It does not control advertising rights, eliminate title insurance analysis, or erase liens merely because a property is listed. Question 18. Taylor failed one portion of the Illinois broker licensing exam several times during the eligibility period. After the fourth unsuccessful attempt, what must happen before testing again? Option A. The candidate may immediately test an unlimited number of times. Option B. The candidate must retake the required broker pre-minus license education before retesting. Option C. Only the national portion must be retaken without additional education. Option D. The candidate automatically receives a leasing agent license. The correct answer is option B. The candidate must retake the required broker pre-license education before retesting. Illinois exam rules allow broker candidates up to 4 attempts during the eligibility period. After a 4th failed attempt, the candidate must complete the required pre-license education again before retaking the examination. Unlimited attempts, partial automatic exemptions, and automatic licensure are not supported.
Stressed about your non-medical assistant exam? We can take non-medical assistant exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 19. A landlord refuses to consider an applicant because of religion. What fair housing concept is most directly involved? Option A. A lawful appraisal adjustment. Option B. A title minus priority decision. Option C. Discrimination based on a protected class in housing transactions. Option D. A contract contingency automatically required by lenders. The correct answer is option C. Discrimination based on a protected class in housing transactions. Fair housing laws prohibit discrimination in housing based on protected classes. The situation is not an appraisal adjustment, title priority issue, or lender minus required contract contingency. Question 20. Casey negotiates the sale of another person's 2- flat building for a promised fee. Under Illinois licensing principles, why would this activity generally require a real estate license? Option A. It is allowed without a license if the property is residential. Option B. It is exempt whenever the fee is paid after closing. Option C. It requires only a notary commission instead of a real estate license. Option D. It involves brokerage activity for compensation on behalf of another person. The correct answer is option D. It involves brokerage activity for compensation on behalf of another person. Negotiating real estate transactions for another person for compensation is a core licensed brokerage activity. Residential status, delayed payment, or holding an unrelated notary commission does not remove the need for the proper real estate license. Question 21. Two firms agree that one will serve buyers only in Normal while the other will avoid that area and focus on Carbondale. Which antitrust concept best fits? Option A. A market allocation. Option B. Valid escalation clause. Option C. A leasehold estate. Option D. Statutory redemption period. The correct answer is option A. Market allocation. Competitors who divide territories or customers can create an unlawful market allocation scheme. Escalation clauses are contract tools, leasehold estates are possessory interests, and redemption periods relate to foreclosure law. Question 22. Jordan wants to pay a sponsored Illinois licensee, Rowan, directly for help with a purchase. How should compensation normally be handled? Option A. The buyer may pay the licensee directly at any time. Option B. The sponsored licensee should receive compensation through the sponsoring broker. Option C. The title company must split the fee directly with the licensee. Option D. The licensee may accept a secret bonus if the transaction closes. The correct answer is option B. The sponsored licensee should receive compensation through the sponsoring broker. A sponsored licensee is normally compensated through the sponsoring broker rather than directly by the public. Direct payment, title minus company fee splitting outside the broker relationship, and secret bonuses create licensing, disclosure, and compensation problems. Question 23. Drew prepares a price opinion for a seller in Quincy to help set a listing price. Which limitation should be remembered? Option A. A CMA always creates a guaranteed sale price. Option B. A broker price opinion transfers title. Option C. A CMA or broker price opinion is not the same as a formal appraisal by a licensed appraiser. Option D. A CMA eliminates all disclosure duties. The correct answer is option C. A CMA or broker price opinion is not the same as a formal appraisal by a licensed appraiser. A CMA or BPO can help estimate market price for brokerage purposes, but it is not a formal appraisal. It does not guarantee a sale price, transfer title, or remove disclosure obligations. Question 24. During a first substantial discussion, Rowan asks Jamie whether the brokerage represents the buyer, the seller, or both. Why should the relationship be clarified early during Jamie's Waukegan single-family home file review? Option A. The relationship is irrelevant until after closing. Option B. A broker owes no duties until a deed is recorded. Option C. Agency disclosure is needed only for commercial leases. Option D. Agency and brokerage relationships affect duties, confidentiality, and the consumer's expectations. The correct answer is option D. Agency and brokerage relationships affect duties, confidentiality, and the consumer's expectations. Brokerage relationships determine duties such as disclosure, confidentiality, obedience to lawful instructions, and care. Waiting until closing, tying duties only to deed recording, or limiting disclosure concepts to commercial leases would leave the consumer without important relationship information. Question 25. A landlord uses a consumer credit report to evaluate Drew's rental application. Which law commonly appears in property-management screening questions? Option A. Fair Credit Reporting Act. Option B. Truth in Zoning Act. Option C. Statute of Frauds only. Option D. Uniform Commercial Code Bulk Sales Rules. The correct answer is option A. Fair Credit Reporting Act. Tenant screening that uses consumer credit information implicates the Fair Credit Reporting Act. The other choices do not specifically govern consumer reports used to evaluate rental applicants.